Come back to NBA Today.
The Los Angeles Lakers were pathetic. They were
It
soft.
was a horrible effort.
Everything that could possibly have gone wrong went wrong for the Lakers.
They pretty much just kicked our ass. I mean, there's nothing else really to say. It's been a roller coaster for us all year, especially with injuries.
LeBron and Anthony Davis out. The Lakers lost again.
How much ground do they lose come playoff time?
The Phoenix Suns have beaten the defending champion.
It's been mentally draining, spiritually, emotionally draining. And given everything we had up until this moment, time to think about what the offseason has in store.
All right, Lakers fans, if you're wondering why you asked us to make you relive that, it's because that was the last time that Dennis Schroder was on the Lakers, and guess what? He's back. So the free agent guard is finalizing a one-year, $2.64 million deal to return to the Lakers. That's according to his agent, Mark Bartelstein of Priority Sports. So Lakers general manager Rob Pelinka and new coach Darvin Ham, they reached out to Russell Westbrook in recent days to tell him that they planned to sign a veteran guard to the team's 14th roster spot. That's what sources told our Adrian Wojnarowski. So, Ramona, let's back this bus up a little bit. Why is this time different for Dennis Schroder?
Well, we'll see if it is.
Or could it be? Yeah.
But, you know, he didn't come out saying that I want to start and that he's been promised starting, because he hasn't been this time. And I think that really started that whole experience off on the wrong foot last time, which Dennis Schroder was joining an NBA championship team. They went and traded for him, and the first thing out of his mouth was, I want to start, and they told me I'm going to start. And, you know, he had just won Sixth Man of the Year. So in this situation, they've told him, you're going to have a significant role on this team, but you're going to compete for a spot. And from what I understand now, they still see Russell Westbrook as a starter. He's a former MVP. He's given that respect. Everyone's going to compete for jobs. But Dennis Schroder is seen as Russell Westbrook as the starter there. They also see Patrick Beverley as more of a backcourt mate rather than somebody who's also in that point guard mix. If you want to now. LeBron James is a point guard, okay? So these are all just titles that we're giving people. But in terms of who's starting, I think Dennis Schroder is not coming out right out of the gate saying, I'm going to be the starter.
So it's setting a little bit of a different tone here, Wendy.
That's right.
I mean, look, the Lakers liked Dennis Schroder. They traded for him. Yep. They tried to sign him to a huge extension, which he turned down very famously.
Yes.
Now they're getting him on a minimum contract. They're probably thrilled about the value. In and of itself, it's a good signing. He's a guy who's dynamic off the bounce, especially when he gets in mismatches. He can have big scoring games. I mean, he's won the Lakers many games before by just sort of doing what you just saw right there, getting to the basket. The problem is when you look at it in the totality of the other moves. When you look at Kendrick Nunn, when you look at Russell Westbrook, when you look at Pat Beverley.
I love this.
That may have been, that was him saying, I still got a roller. When you look at it in totality, these are all guys who are combo guards who frankly don't shoot well. And we're and also the guy, their premium offseason signing was Lonnie Walker. He also doesn't shoot well from three-point range. So you're looking at all these guys who don't shoot the ball well in a league where shooting is not only at a premium, but for the last 15 years in this league, every team that's had LeBron James, it's shooting.
Right.
And their best shooter amongst all these guys is Kendrick Nunn, who hasn't played in a year, and we don't even know how healthy he's going to be at the start of the season. I just do not believe, and this can be used as receipts later. You can use this against me, I guess, Lakers. Yeah. I don't believe that the basketball people in this organization believe that this is a group that's actually going to work. I just don't believe it. I don't believe, I think they took a guy here who they think is a good value at a minimum contract, and they thought, we're going to do some major makeover here, and eventually it'll make sense. So I will just say, I will wait till it makes sense, but right now it does not.
Well, you can see their lack of shooting on the screen there. I guess it begs the question, though. Right now, the backcourt, it's looking a little bit crowded, Bobby. Do you want to walk with me and explain how exactly a lineup may look?
Well, I think when we look at their lineup, I don't think the only thing that's guaranteed right now is LeBron James and Anthony Davis as their two starters here. I mean, this is a guard-heavy roster here, and certainly with Russell Westbrook and Damian Jones at center, Kendrick Nunn, Brian mentioned here. But look at all your guards here. I mean, all the way down to kind of Max Christie. This is this is heavy. So when you add in, you can basically kind of we can flip-flop guys here. When you look at Patrick Beverley, we can put him for Kendrick Nunn.
Okay.
A lot of interchangeable parts, but here's my concern. Guard heavy, right? Yeah. Basically 8 out of the 14 players are guards. They've got this one open roster spot. Are they going to use it? $7 million it's going to cost them. 11 expiring contracts. Malika, we're in the offseason right now. This is the honeymoon period. what happens when we get going in training camp and now Russell Westbrook's not playing 34 minutes.
Right.
Or Patrick Beverley's not playing 30 minutes here. And then the other thing, the largest tax bill in Laker history at $39 million. We talked about it with the Suns. Are they willing to kind of add to their roster here? But this is what their roster is going to be. And as I said, the only thing that's guaranteed is LeBron James and Anthony Davis as your two starters right now.
It seems like everything else, even if we expect Russell Westbrook, by listening to Darvin Ham, to start at the beginning of the season, that's not guaranteed to see how it goes after a couple of games. So it's clear, I mean, Darvin Ham has his work cut out for him, Bobby, when you're trying to figure out rotations, when you're trying to figure out lineups here. So that's in theory how it could look. Ramona, how is this going to work?
Well, you know, part of this starts with Darvin Ham's emphasis on defense, okay? And a lot of the players that they've gone out and got, Patrick Beverley, Dennis the Menace, Dennis Schroder, that's why they liked him in the first place. That fits with the way Darvin Ham wants his guys to play. And if you watch the Lakers at all last year, you know that the reason they didn't win is because they didn't play a lick of defense, okay? When Darvin Ham interviewed for this job, he went and watched all their games, and all he talked about was defense. It's not about who's going to shoot and who's not. It's about, can you improve on that side of the ball? That's why they've gone out and got Patrick Beverley, Dennis Schroder, some of the other guards they've looked at. Now, defense is not about adding individual players. It's about team concepts, and you have to have your stars buy into that, and that is the emphasis they'll have going into training camp. But Darvin Ham knows Dennis from Atlanta. He was an assistant on Mike Budenholzer's staff when he was there. He was in favor of this signing. LeBron James has already reached out to Schroder, and they've been talking this whole time. This has been a conversation that has been months in the making.
Well, but Brian, we already know you have cold feet about this.
I don't believe it. I mean, everything that Darvin said, I respect him a lot as a basketball mind. I respect his resume. I watch him as a player. He made it in the league by being smarter and tougher. This does not equate with someone who's smarter and tougher. It's not a smart game plan. And I know we saw Russell Westbrook shooting threes in an empty gym last week. And if Russell Westbrook comes in and starts shooting 44% on corner three-pointers and starts shooting, 39% overall and is out there killing it on defense, I will be glad to come on this show and say I was wrong and that I didn't see it. And I'm not being invited to Russell Westbrook's workouts, so I don't get to see it. But based on what we have is a track record, and all of these players, track records. I mean, it's not like we don't know what they are. Their track records don't indicate that this is going to work. And I think Darvin Ham is basically trying to check off the boxes so that when they pull the plug on it, they can at least say, we checked off all the boxes.
We gave everyone the benefit of the doubt and had every opportunity to be able to work. You knew what the system was, and if you don't fit it, we gave you an opportunity and you didn't. Okay, so this is about this year's Lakers, but did you guys see what the Showtime Lakers are up to right now?
Yeah,
I want to be in Hawaii. They had a reunion. Check this out. Players.
That's a skyhook if I ever saw one. Look at that. You can still do it. 75.
This is still unstoppable shot. Michael
It is,
Thompson's
by the way.
like,
Nobody can block that.
Well, do you guys want to see video of it? You want to see how it actually went down? I mean, his jumper, it still looks incredible. Look at this. Getting after it in the gym. Wendy.
Okay, here's what I love about. See Riley right there? Riley has a practice plan.
Yep.
And he's running them through the paces. He's got like a card stock, his blue card stock that he always uses. Riley ran a freaking practice. That's where they play the Maui Invitational, by the way, in
This
Lahaina.
is supposed to be a walk-through. And I said to Michael Thompson
You guys
going
don't know what walk-through means. Well, just as if anyone needed a reminder, LeBron enters the season well within reach of the all-time scoring record, just 1,326 points away from passing Kareem. But Kareem's back in the gym. So, I mean,
he could sign a couple of 10 days and jack that number up. He could make a few skyhooks.
Exactly, because, I mean, otherwise, LeBron is going to be, he's averaging at least 25 points per game over his next 54 games played. Get there January, February. All right, it's all marked on everybody's calendars. Still to come, though, on NBA Today, our reporters, they're going to dive into all of the biggest questions